Hello, everyone. This is Lisa with Inspired Heart. Oh, Heart of Inspiration. Happens when you have multiple channels. Hello, 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 hello. All right. So, welcome to LATeR, Life After Toxic Relationships. And we're going to put, for those of us that are at the website here, heartofinspiration.net, in the chat. And then for those of us that are watching the replay later, it'll be in the description box. I really, really appreciate you guys coming. As always, this channel is about helping you live life inspired. Live life inspired. So this is one of the segments that we do. We typically do this on Tuesday nights. However, it was the great YouTube of 2018, and everyone was freaking out last night, so we didn't get an opportunity to do it. So we are going to talk about a topic that I am actually pretty passionate about. This is this concept of getting over, getting past, or recovering from toxic relationships, and very specifically, in a lot of cases, we've been dealing with narcissists, okay? So in dealing with narcissists, right, they can be so infuriating in so many ways. And a lot of us have to have some sort of interaction with them. So either you're still in the relationship right now, or perhaps you have children with the narcissist, or who knows, like even after a split up or a divorce, maybe there's just still things that have to be asked, and there's still someone in your life. So how in the world, as we're like either exiting or when we have to consistently deal with the narcissist, there's certain skills that we can learn to help us on our journey and help us keep our safety. And one of those that I found extremely effective when I was going through the initial separation, or once I recognized that I was married to a narcissist, was this concept of Greyrocking. I would hear people talk all the time about a Greyrock, you got a Greyrock, you got a Greyrock. And I'm like, what the heck is Greyrock? Well, in order for us to really now I can tell you what Greyrock is, but I also want to explain the reason why Greyrock works. Because I firmly believe when we understand the why, then we can apply the concept in any and every, situation. I'm actually going to move my microphone very close because I want every word to be heard. Okay. The concept of Greyrock is this. About a rock. A rock, I have one of my beautiful amethysts here. So but this rock, this stone, it doesn't technically speak, does it? Rock is pretty bland. It's very bland. So there's no color, vibrancy, and really just kind of your standard run-of-the-mill rock. While it's giving off some vibrations and some frequencies, necessarily giving off, like my beautiful amethyst, a higher vibrational frequency. There's not a high energy that is being given off by a gray rock. It's just, so if you think of a gray rock like that, that's why we call it that. The purpose of gray rocking, not give any energy to the narcissist. Remember, narcissists are shells of people. They have created this shell in order to survive, because they don't feel that their real person has the capability of being loved. So if we liken the narcissist to the vampire, there needs the vampire needs blood, someone else's blood, in order to live. Because it really doesn't have any vibrant, life-giving blood of its own. So that's why the vampire has to feed. It needs life-giving blood from someone else, warm, good blood. It needs a supply. So when we're in a ship with a narcissist, we are in a relationship with an energetic, emotional vampire. That's what we are. So in order to kill the vampire, you have to be dead. And it can't even know that your heart is beating, right? Because vampires, if you go by folklore, they could tell the beating of a heart. Like they could sense. And that's what narcissists do when they meet those of us who are grade A supply. They sense and they feel, ooh, that's good. Grade A supply right there. I'm going to get a lot of love. I'm going to get a lot of sympathy. I'm going to get a lot of, oh my goodness, make you happy. And I just want to do everything for you because you've been hurt so bad and you're such the victim. And they're like, they're going to end up putting me before that. All 9 yards, right? They know when we're grade A supply. So gray rocking is the concept of shut off. If you become a gray rock, they can't get a darn thing from you, can they? Oh, this supply line has been cut off. So they can't gaslight you. Now, how do you gray rock? It is literally just that, not giving off any emotion. So what they know usually when they gaslight you or they say something that they know usually elicits a response, because they want more positive. It doesn't matter what type of energy or type of feeling they elicit. They don't care. Care about is that they got something from you. They're energy vampires. It doesn't matter if it's high level or low level. They prefer high level energy, but it doesn't matter. So if you gray rock them, they're not getting anything. So, and an example that I have, my ex would consistently start saying things like, oh, well, you're such a horrible control TCH. And this is why you can't keep a man. You don't know how to keep a house. You can't do this. It was just, you're not attractive, all sorts of stuff. I used to get upset about it. At first, I would get upset about it. Oh my gosh, she's right. I am a control freak. I don't honor him as my husband. What I did. But then as I was coming out of this situation, I learned the gray rocking because I realized I had to regain myself back to him. And so he would say these things, and then I would just look at him very blankly, and I would say, you are entitled to your opinion. Everybody has them. I'm sorry that your opinion is wrong, and I'm sorry that your perception of me and the situation is incorrect, but I can't change your opinion. And that'd be it. And I'd walk away. Literally walk away. Sometimes I got so good at it, I'd just still sit there. I'm sitting there and I wouldn't even look up. I'd be like, well, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm really sorry that it's wrong. I'm sorry that you have a perception of the situation and of me. And keep it moving. So the first time I like, what just happened? And he continued to rail. just didn't say a word. I didn't let him off of me even that it was upsetting me. At first, yes, it was very much upsetting me deep inside, but I knew in order for me to put the gas, I had to keep poker face. He'd go on, and then that's your opinion. I'm sorry, your perception of the situation is a failed one. So pretty soon, after about 10, 15 minutes, he goes storming off to the bedroom, or he goes storming out of the door and say, I'm going for a drive. I wouldn't even say goodbye. That's Greyrocking. I didn't give him any energy to feed off of either path. Some people have to take it to the extreme of not even responding. Once we were in the divorce, I actually stopped responding to his emails. I stopped responding to his text messages, or if I literally just say the same thing, sometimes I would say to him, I'm really sorry that you're kind of crazy. You have mental health issues. You might want to see somebody about that. I mean, it would just get to be that way. It got to be fun. And eventually he just stopped because there was nothing for him to feed off of. He'd pop his head up every now and again, but he eventually stopped. Now, if you're in a situation where your ex is a narcissist and you have like children, or you're still in a current relationship, I understand that you still have to be in this situation. And being in this situation, Greyrocking needs to be a way of life. And again, it's not giving them satisfaction of you reacting. So if it's a situation with the kids, let's say that it's his turn to pick up the children, and he or she, because there's female narcissists, he or he basically is like, wants to railing in on you and gaslighting you. They'll pick fights, hunty. They will pick fights. So they'll say something just so they can get a response. They just want to get. So if they say, oh my God, the kids are dirty, and the kids are darn clean, or whatever, they've been outside playing. Okay. You just don't even respond. You just look at them like, okay. And instead of responding back to what they said, I'll see you guys in a couple of days. Turn around and walk away. They rail in emails. Like all this stuff. Because I swear, narcissists have to send you, I know this because I just know this. They need to send you like 50 million emails about everything is critical. Children, especially when there's children involved, and especially if it's a man, and then they'll play on, like, because we all want to be right, so they'll like try to portray us as if we're horrific mothers, we're the worst on the earth, and they'll say things in email that are spiteful and painful about how horrible you are. And usually they're doing this to try to document something to take you back to court. Just don't want to, like, they love to go to court. They are litigious people because they have to be right. They always have to be vindicated. They always have to be proven that they're right. Okay. So narcissists have to do that. This is how they are. Oh my goodness. I saw that, Susan. So they have to do these. So instead of responding back to those, like, you get 5 emails a day about, and it's all so freaking urgent about the darn kids, don't respond. Literally, don't respond. Because the minute you do, even if it's to say, this isn't true, that's giving them energy. Or if you do respond, just respond in regard to the time it is, pick them up. Or the next time that they're supposed to do something for the children for school or whatever. Say nothing about the situation that they're talking about because it's crazy. And the less that we do them and they're gaslighting, the crazier they get, and then their crazy shows up. Sheer lunacy shows up. Right? Their illogical nature shows up. Greyrock, don't give them anything to feed off of. If you're still like actively in the relationship, still in the same household, that is difficult if you can't get out of the relationship. In that case, you're still going to have to Greyrock. Now, granted, you can't just walk around not talking. Probably could, but eventually we're going to want to say something. But again, the whole concept of Greyrocking is to not give the narcissist any energy, positive or negative, to feed off of. So that's why I would consistently just say, we all are entitled to our opinions. I can't change yours. You can't change mine. I'm sorry that your position is flawed or incorrect, and leave it. And they will, I'm telling you, they'll rail. And then you have a choice. You can either walk out of the room or just sit there and not say a darn word. Literally be a rock. Not say a word. Watching TV on my computer. Not paying you any mind. Put my earbuds in. Let me listen to or let me watch some more YouTube videos on Lisa's channels. But don't respond. Respond, because this is what happens to us when we continue to feed into this cycle. We have raised our vibration, healing ourselves. We're doing our work. So we are raising our vibrations. The minute we go back into this cycle and it's lower energy crap, the minute that happens, it goes down. All the fear, all the anger, all the frustration, all the hurt, all the just wells right back up. And then they have us where they want us because we're not operating out of our higher selves. We're operating out of our lower nature. They seek to sap all of the higher level energy that we have in gals, ladies and gentlemen. They seek to take every drop of love that we have because they have none. They are void. Or they have very little. And the little bit that they do have, the little bit that the narcissist of love and light that they do have, if they're hardly hardened yet, it's very difficult to get to. It's difficult to get to. So, them seeking energy, okay? Them seeking our energy that's the only way they can live. That's the only way they can live. That's the only way they can survive. Now, Greyrocking starves the gaslight. Greyrock turns off, or it should say, it turns off the igniter. Because the igniter happens, when they pour gas, and we react, boom. Now we got a gaslight going on. Now we got ignition, and boy, it's on. They're going to get us on that hamster wheel. They're going to put their fangs right in our neck and eye of everything that we have within us. Greyrock basically makes stone. It makes us spiritually stone. It makes it so that there's no ignition. There's no light, no spark to ignite the gas. Now, the next step in greyrocking is then going can't go no contact, though, typically if, A, you're not out of the relationship. If there's children involved until they turn 18 or what have you, and then you really don't really have anything. And in that case, you got a Greyrock area. But you can do a form of no contact. You could do a form of no, even if you have to be in relationship, by limiting your contact and your interaction to the area that you need, that is absolutely necessary, usually by law. So it will be absolutely be necessary that there will be communicate regarding the children. If they choose to gaslight back, or they choose to send you 5 emails in a day that are useless, don't respond to them. Keep it where there's no feelings involved, just the facts. Just the facts, ma'am. Dragnet. Old show. Just the facts. That's what you got to keep it to. In the relationship, you could do a form of no contact or high-level greyrocking. The high-level greyrocking that will be, or deep greyrocking, whatever, that is facts. That's the whole thing. You got to stick to the facts and stick to reality. There's a couple questions in the chat for those watching the replay. And Phase. Okay, so Lollipop's Tarot Shop is on here. Please check out her channel as well. So greyrocking, watched and so centered, is a sense of greyrocking, yes. But greyrocking is really when you still have an interaction, narcissist. And so this is a method of just not giving your energy. And I suppose spiritually speaking, you could be greyrocking because you don't really have any interaction. But this method that I'm talking about is really, really, still had to have some type of relationship, some type of interaction. So as the divorce was going on, Greyrock act. And then when I did have to have contact with him, it was either through the lawyer, the attorney, or if I had to contact him straightforward, then it was, here, this is the settlement. That's it. And even when I interacted with him at the court, he actually asked for the wedding and the engagement ring. When we hammered out the whole thing, the divorce settlement, and so at the date of the court of the hearing, when myself, my lawyer, and he were all in the same room together at the wedding with me, and he had already left his wedding ring, so it didn't matter. I had already sold it anyway. Anyway, he was cheating. Why would a cheater wear his wedding ring? But so I brought it to, it wasn't, there was no emotion. It was, here's the rings. And I just slid it across the table. And he looked ashamed because I'm handing him the rings in front of the attorney, you know. He was like super ashamed because it was so petty for that back. I mean, they were real silver, but they weren't real diamonds. Just all be real about that. And he pocket. I didn't even look at him in the courtroom. I didn't acknowledge him. And if there was any like response that was needed from me, facts. So Greyrocking is sticking to the facts. Don't add anything to it. Don't add, I feel this. Don't add that thing that could be construed as emotional intellect. No emotions when you are literally being a gray rock. Like no joke, you are being a gray rock. No more, no less. You have to cut off the supply. And that's what gray rocking. Eventually, when the narcissist cannot get supply from you, they have to find it from somewhere else. Most of them are already sources because there's never one source is never going to be enough. Because they'll deplete that one source. They'll keep around usually for monetary purposes, sexual purposes, or because that main source helps them their image, right? So I helped my ex's image tremendously. Here I am, a woman that was 18 years his professional, had her stuff together. So it was good for me, and I was a lot of friends, so popular, outgoing, you know, I dress up nice. I was good for his image. The other his little supplies in his supply chain, they were not good for his image. Believe me. They were not this. Okay. So that's him when I like filed for divorce. I took away his power by me filing for divorce, and he is the defendant. I'm the petitioner or the respondent. That put him on his heels, chapped his hide. And then I was gray rocking the whole time. And I was no longer the person that he could put on his arm. You know, I'm not saying I don't down talk other. I'm just saying he was not dealing. The one other woman that he was dealing with that was professional, she also had a lot of health problems. She was just not. He would have never. He's still not with her. He would have never been proud off. Just wouldn't have because of certain physical attributes he was dealing with were not professional, they weren't me. So I was really, really good for his image. And so that's why they keep the main supply, even though they know that they're depleting that main supply. And if we're going to go along that whole vampire, this is an area I didn't plan on going on tonight, but it makes in supply. And even though it's like they've been like feeding and feeding and feeding and feeding, if you like Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles, love that series. Okay, Vampire Lestat is anyway. If you go by vampiric lore, there's always one or trapped that they would feed off of just to the point before they would turn them vampires and before they would die. Because these were their prized ones, you know? These were the prized main. That's what we are. So they will suck us dry and feed and feed and feed until we're this close to like completely breaking. They do. They love bomb, love bomb, love bomb, love bomb, bring us back up. They bring us back up. They love bomb us. Feel better, and then they take us to dinner and they buy our favorite flowers and they do all these wonderful things. And love bomb guys for being such a jerk. Apologize for being a jerk. Apologize for being this way. Oh my gosh, so it's just everything that I've been through. Sometimes they'll say, well, I wish you wouldn't do this, and then I wouldn't do that. And make up. And so then it gets real, you get real super close. Like you go away for a wonderful weekend, or you know what I'm saying? They do all the favorite things. They build you back up. They got to bring you back to life so that you'll stay. They know how to like keep you cycle. Love bomb, gaslight, crush, love bomb, crush, love bomb, gaslight, crush. Over and over and over again. And through the cycle, you're a little weaker and a little less able to get away from the cycle because it's like boiling a frog at turning up the heat 1 degree. Before you know it, you're so deep. And then people are telling you the light's out of, and your smile's not quite as bright. And you can't see it because you've become part of, like you're almost a vampire. And you're their prized supply, their most prized possession. And like I said, monetary reasons, for financial reasons, for stability, for you fit the image, all of those things. But I can guarantee side supplies. And if they're not actively sexually involved with them, if they're not somatic narcissists, where they're also as well, then they have them for other reasons. So, I digressed. Greyrocking. Greyrocking is an excellent way, excellent method, cutting the cycle. And then basically the narcissist is one of two choices. They either completely leave you alone because they kill you, or they have to seek to change. I wish I could say that most of them sought to change, but most of them don't. So greyrocking is for you, to empower you so that you can continue your recovery and you can continue to grow and you can continue to ascend and you can continue to be more enlightened. Greyrocking is for you to take your power back and to stop being the narcissist. Their breakfast, their lunch, their dinner, and their after dinner dessert. It's for you to do. Greyrocking cuts off the supply. Greyrocking makes you less attractive. Who wants to be bothered with I mean, we'd all much rather be, with my beautiful purple amethyst. With the beautiful, sparkly, shiny ones full of energy. A gray rock? Nobody wants that. Definitely a narcissist that. So it stops the cycle, because if you do not ignite the gas, he can't or she fight you. If it's a family member that's doing this to you, cut it off. I'm really sorry that you have that perception. It's flawed. Your opinion, though, I can't change it. I'm not going to try, and you can't change mine. Done. We're done. Tone. No energy. They'll stop because they have to. Believe you, they have to. It might take a while, especially if you've been with them for quite some time, or you've been going through this cycle over and over and over and over again. Okay. That is what I wanted to discuss tonight. The how gray rocking works, why it works, the why behind it. So now that you understand the why behind the what, hopefully you can apply it to your everyday life. Now, listen, if the relationship you are in is physically abusive, if it is mentally abusive, but definitely also, if it is abusive, I want you to know you will be fine. I need you to make your way out of that relationship, though, especially for your children's life. If your safety or your children's safety is in the balance, I need you to get out of that. I need you to work towards it. That's a very real thing. And there are people in your state, in your city that can help you. And if you want to let me know where you are, I will help locate support systems for you to be able to get out. I always want you to be safe, mentally, physically, and emotionally. The other thing that we're doing, and please, I would like for you, yes, healing stones help. I'm looking at the chat for those watching the replay. Yes, if there are any questions, thank you, Heather. We're going to take some questions from the chat, again, for those of you watching the replay. And while people questions, I want to direct you guys to my website, www.heartofinspiration.net. Excuse me. If you go to the classes section on my website, starting 23rd, we are going to have Life After Toxic Relationship Recovery. Really, it's going to be all about self-partnering. Each class is $15. It's going to be a bi-weekly class. Okay. Each class is $15. It'll be in a Zoom conference room. We'll be able to be grouped together and discuss recovery topics. And we'll be able to talk to one another and support one another because it's so important. It's so important to be able to work with others. You can join by video, you join only by audio. That's fine either way. You don't have to do every class bi-weekly. They're meant to be standalone group sets. Okay. So www.heartofinspiration.net, and under classes, see the sign up area for Life After Toxic Relationships, the self-partnering class, because that's truly the way to overcome toxic relationships and heal, is to become self-partnered so we don't attract them any longer. So, Lollipop, did you have a question? Because I saw a hand raised. Jeanette says she gray rocks all the time now. Very good. And I hope it's starting to help, right? You're so welcome. I really want you guys let your friends know. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Lollipop. So Lollipop is also who may be going through or coming out of an abusive relationship. It is very, very important. It is very important. I need to start like putting that. Yeah. Heartofinspiration.net. Okay. So guys, go there. You know, sign up for that class. I'll get you the and also please click the contact us. I need to set up an email, emails and things like that from that site. So we're really beefing up area. Okay. All right, guys, we've been together for about 40 minutes. I didn't want to stay on too terribly long. I think we covered a lot of great ground on my website. Please like, subscribe, and share if you haven't already liked and subscribed. Please feel free to share this video. I really appreciate it much. And also every morning, I do a heartbeat section every morning for morning. And we've already covered topics like, find your why and don't give up and keep those feet. So every morning we're going to do a 5-minute video just to kind of start your day off and start it bright and ready to go. Okay. All right. So much for joining me tonight. I so appreciate it. And always live life inspired. Peace, love, blessings to you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love each and every one of you. Namaste, my friends.